This video is to show you how to begin paint. So whether you're going to do paint with acrylic or paint with watercolor, you'll need to complete this video on the sheet that goes along with it. If you don't have your sheet, it's right there in the orange container right there. It's a sheet that looks like this that says Paint Intro. Get it, put your name and period number on it. Do that first, and then I'll tell you the next step. So after you have your name and period number on your sheet, I'm going to tell you the first step to painting. Okay, so this is the paint shelf. Most of the materials are located here. The first thing you're always going to do is get a sheet of newspaper, just one sheet, and lay your sheet down on the paper. So the first step to painting is put down newspaper. You only need one sheet of newspaper. You don't need to cover your whole table. Just put down one sheet of newspaper. Your second step is, once you put down your newspaper, you need to get your paper. Watercolor paper is located in this bin with the blue top, and there'll be another little folder there that says paper, just regular white paper if you're painting on it, or maybe you've gotten some special paper from me. Once you have your paper, the first step is to write your name and period number on the back with a pencil. I'm writing in a Sharpie just so you can see it. So after you put down your newspaper, I'm going to write my name and period number on the back, okay? Then you're at the step where it's time to gather a bunch of things. So you're going to write your name and period number. Now you're in the gathering phase. You've kind of started the initial step. You've got your paper. Now here are the things you're going to need to get. You're going to need to get a water well. That's right up here. This is what you're going to put your water in. Then you're going to need to get your paint. All right, if you're doing watercolor, the paint is in this blue bin. If you're doing acrylic, it's going to be right here on this table. After you get your paint and watercolor, you can get, before you do any of that, you're going to put on an apron. So before you do anything, before you even start touching the brushes, get an apron. The aprons are located on the door right there. Okay, so the door to the back room by the brooms has aprons. You're going to want to put one on just in case, okay? So then you've got your water well, you've got your apron, you've got your paint. I'm going to do watercolor today, so I'm getting the watercolor paint. You're going to want to get your brushes. Your brushes are right here. I'm going to tell you about the types in a minute, but you want to get maybe 2 or 3 brushes. You don't need more than 2 or 3. Okay? Once you have it, your brushes are going to go here in your water well, and you're going to want to get just a little bit of water. You just fill it halfway up. And the last thing you might want is a paper towel. So you might just want to get just a little piece of paper towel, because that comes in handy when you're painting. Okay? So let's review all the things that we got. So as I was painting, I want to get my apron first. Then I want to get my water well with water. Okay, I'm going to get my paint brushes. All right, I'll show you the answers and you can pause it for the answers. I'm going to get my paint brushes. I'm going to get a paper towel. And of course, the most important thing, the paint that you need. I'm going to show you how to get your acrylic paint in another video. But we're going to do watercolor first this year, so you're going to just get your watercolor set, which I'll show you in watercolor intro. Okay, so now you're ready to paint. Blah, 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 blah. Oh, first, I want to tell you about the 3 different kinds of brushes. Okay, so there are a flat brush, a round brush, and an oversized or specialty brushes. This is a flat brush. You can see why they call it flat, because it's right there. This is a round brush. It has kind of a round tip. And any other brush that's not flat around is going to be oversized brush, or something that has like a very little one or an angled tip you're going to put in the other jar. Okay, so those are your 3 types of brushes: flat, round, oversized. Okay, so flat, round, oversized brushes. All right, so while I'm painting, I'm going to use my water well to clean my brushes. So you'll see I'll have my paint brushes here and water here. If you're dipping it in the paint and you need to clean your brush, you just swirl it around in the water and then maybe dab it on your paper towel, okay? to change your color. So you're not, if you have like 10 colors you're using, you're not going to get 10 brushes. You're going to get 2 or 3 brushes, to maybe different sizes, and then when you want to change the color, you're going to swirl it around in the water and dab it on your paper towel. Okay, so let's write that on our paper. While I'm painting, I will use my water well to clean your brush. Now, when you are done painting, you're going to use your water well to clean your brush. Now, when you're done painting, you're painting, la 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 la, it's time for cleanup. Here's what you need to do. You need to stop immediately because it takes a while to paint. If things don't get cleaned up, then paint will be closed the next day, or you might have to sit by me to be able to do it. You're going to take your brushes and your water well, swirl them in here first. Swirl them in your water well first. Then you're going to come to the sink. You can pour out the water, clean your water well, so just rinse it out. Then you're going to take your brushes. Let me bring you closer so you can see. You're going to take your brushes, and in the sink, you can use this sink or the other sink, you are going to massage them, like put them in between your fingers and rub the brush until the water runs clean, so there's no paint on the brush. Then you're going to return them in the proper can, so the red is flat and the round is yellow, but you're going to put them hairdo up. Pretend that that is a brush that has a person that has hair. The hairdo always goes up so that they can dry properly. Okay, so let's write those answers. So I'm going to clean my brush and my water well, the first thing. I'm going to return my brush hairdo up, and I'm going to return my water well. So you noticed I cleaned my water well, but I left it here in the sink. Don't do that. Once it's clean, bring it back over here to the shelf and return it. Okay? Now, where do you put your painting? You've done your painting and you need to put it away. You've got your painting here. Make sure it has your name on it. You're going to put it on this drying rack. If your painting is kind of flimsy and you're afraid it's going to fall down, there are these cardboard sheets here. You can put them on top of the cardboard sheets and put them on the rack here. Okay, so you're just going to kind of slide it in. It actually should go this way. Slide it in, and you're going to put your painting on the rack. Very important that you have your name on there so that we don't lose it. All right, and the last thing you're going to do is you're going to take your newspaper, and you're going to, if there's no water or paint on it, you can put it back. But if it's got any paint or water on it, you're going to put it in the trash can. So I put my wet painting on the painting rack. And I throw my newspaper away, okay? So now you have completed the paint intro. So that means you need to either go to watercolor intro, or you need to go to create new discoveries for acrylic paint to figure out what to do next for the assignment.